deserve to be happy. Sit.
So my name is Myron Laban. I'm an artist. I'm a pharmacist. I'm currently living in Chicago, Illinois. I was born and raised in Des Plaines by my parents, who are Egyptian immigrants. A lot of people know me for this thing I do called Uplift, which is represented by a figure walking forward with someone on top of his shoulders, pointing forward, and it kind of relates back to a memory when I was a small kid. I remember my dad he took me to Kmart and I was on top of his shoulders. So the aesthetic look comes from that, but the meaning is this mantra that I have in life. It's this idea of perseverance through your own struggles and knowing that things are going to be okay. And so originally when I had that idea, I looked at people like Heber Brantley and J.C. Rivera and Centrock, and I saw that they had these characters, and then they found a way to create this character in like 100 different ways, right? And so I looked at that and as a blueprint for what I wanted to do with my art, which was Uplift. But I wasn't just trying to make some random ass character that didn't mean anything. And so it started off literally as a tattoo, and I would draw this so much on my body because this is going to be my first tattoo, so I wanted to make sure that it was going to be in the right place. So I ended up drawing it so much that it became second nature, and then I realized that this is my flyboy, this is my bear champ, you know. And I went along with it, and I started rolling up, asking building owners to make murals. I was like, yo, let me just make a mural. I would do it all for free, come on a day off, because at the time I was a pharmacy student, so I had school by day, and it's kind of become what it is now. But I don't want to say I'm outgrowing it, but I don't want to be put into this box of the guy who only does Uplift, you know, because at the end of the day, I'm an artist, and I just want to make good art, and I want to make things that interest me, and I want to make things that I find are beautiful and other people find are beautiful. And you know, this past year, these past couple of years, I've just been making art. I've been grinding and really trying to put my art into the world. And as of late, I'm a lot more intentional about what I put out into the world. I'm trying to create art that can kind of help people throughout their own struggles, throughout their own obstacles that they face. And that's why you'll see me make a 2-story mural that says "You deserve to be happy," because some people don't even realize that. Some people just get so lost in their own problems and their own things that upset them that they forget about what it means to be healthy, like mentally. I did a second "You Deserve to Be Happy" mural during COVID, like when this all first started happening, where you have to wear masks, and then there was a lockdown. And I ended up getting on like CBS and PBS, and the headline was like, "Artist Pharmacist Creates Mural to like Uplift Community During, you know, hard times." You know, it was just this. It was at a time where people were feeling isolated and not in a good place because you're stuck at home. You can't go anywhere. You don't have a social life. You can't see your friends. You can't see your family. And so I think my art has always been kind of the same idea, but during COVID it became more meaningful to people because I think people really felt the effects of isolation, and a lot of people became became unemployed and hopelessness, and I think you always need hope. I'd rather be hopeful than not hopeful. And that's a lot of where my art comes from. So I think you don't have to be the most technically proficient artist to make good art. I think you can make art in any sort of way, but the most important thing is that it has to reach people. It has to have some sort of like emotional connection. So to relate that to me is like, I'm not the best at creating, but I'm always working to be better, but I feel like I can create art that can talk to people in a direct way. So this painting has a lot of like layers. Lately I've been doing a lot of flowers, kind of abstract shapes. I really like kind of flat background colors, and I'll do this, the thing you saw in the Fly Away series, where I'll do these little designs. And then a lot of the designs kind of relate to me on a personal level. Like for example, I always do pyramids, and the pyramids kind of relate to my ethnicity. I'm Egyptian, and so it's just a kind of a way to talk about where my family is from. I think this art show that I'm doing is kind of like a progression of my artistry, and it's kind of an evolution of me, because you're not the same person you were a year ago, you're not the same person you were 2 years ago, and I'm also not the same artist, your interests change, your preferences change, you go through stuff in life that changes your outlook, and I think that's kind of where my art has been going as of lately. I still incorporate the uplift style and the character within the art, but it's just a little bit more subtle. This is basically, the title of this painting is the title of the show. It's called Sitting With My Thoughts, and it's just this idea about kind of being stuck in your head for good reasons or bad reasons, but it's this idea of like just being kind of lost in your thoughts and not really focused in the real world, which is what I find myself doing sometimes. And then some of the pieces you see that you're gonna see in my show, they kind of relate to all different things. They kind of relate to this idea of like identity, this idea of like being African American in our society. Like, how do people perceive you? Do people perceive you as beautiful? Do they perceive you as a threat? Some of it relates to I guess sadness and heartbreak. I don't know, a lot of these pieces in the show kind of relate to just your thoughts and your ideas, and for me, I have, you have good thoughts, you have bad thoughts. It's just part of being human, really. Everybody's human at the end of the day, and it's kind of a culmination of all these things, right? And I guess to relate that all back to the show, it's just like, what do you want? What are you thinking about? How does what you're thinking about relate to your life? In a good way, in a bad way? It's kind of broad, but that's just kind of the things I've been thinking about lately.